Eli Navarro wiped the grease from his hands and looked up at the red-orange sky of the remote mining planet. The twin suns were setting, painting the jagged rocks in deep gold and crimson. It had been another long day at his small workshop, repairing broken mining equipment and rusted ships left by travelers who rarely stopped here for long. Life was quiet, predictable, and lonely, but Eli liked it that way. He glanced at the workshop's tools, carefully arranged on racks he had built himself. Wrenches, soldering irons, plasma torches, and a few alien devices scavenged from old ships. All his life's work was here. He loved machines. They never judged, never complained, and always responded to effort and skill. The wind howled across the barren plains outside, rattling the workshop walls. Eli shivered and reached for his jacket. That's when he heard it, a faint, high-pitched hum unlike anything he had ever heard. He paused, wiping his hands again, unsure if it came from the sky or the ground. Then came a sharp, metallic crash. Eli ran outside, heart pounding. On the rocky slope just beyond his workshop lay a ship he had never seen before. It was elegant, sleek, and shaped like a crescent moon. Its hull shimmered in the fading sunlight, a mix of silvers and blues, but it was badly damaged, one wing bent, sparks flying from a cracked panel. Smoke curled into the air. "Someone's in trouble," Eli muttered. He grabbed a portable toolbox and ran up the slope. As he approached, a figure moved inside the ship's cockpit. She stepped out slowly, and Eli froze. She was unlike anything he had ever seen. Her skin glowed faintly, like soft moonlight, and her eyes were a deep, shifting violet. Her hair flowed like liquid silver, and her markings, thin, intricate lines across her arms and face, pulsed faintly as if alive. She wore a suit that seemed to be part armor, part organic fabric, shifting colors subtly. Eli swallowed. Hi, need some help." The alien woman tilted her head. She didn't speak in words Eli recognized. Instead, a soft, melodic sound came from her throat. Eli frowned. He had repaired ships from many species, but he wasn't used to working with someone he couldn't understand. She raised a small device in her hand, pressed a button, and a soft voice spoke in English, though accented, mechanical, yet clear. "Greetings, I require assistance. My ship is severely damaged." Eli nodded, relief flooding him. "Okay, I can help. I'm Eli. I fix things." She gave a small bow, graceful and precise. "I am Lyra, thank you." Eli studied the ship. "This is not human tech, not even anything I've seen before, but I can try. You'll need to stay out of the way for now." Lyra stepped back, her glowing eyes scanning him as if trying to understand every human instinct at once. Eli felt a strange mix of fear and curiosity. Her presence was unlike anything he had ever experienced. He climbed onto the hull, tools clanging against metal. He inspected the damaged wing first. The alloy was light, stronger than any human-made material, but some panels were cracked beyond repair. Eli used his portable welder to fuse smaller cracks, improvising with parts scavenged from his storage. Lyra watched silently. She didn't offer advice, didn't interfere. Eli appreciated that. He often worked alone, and having someone hovering could distract him, even if the person was an alien. Hours passed. The suns dipped below the horizon, leaving a dark blue sky dotted with stars. Eli's fingers were sore, his clothes stained with oil and burnt metal, but slowly the ship began to look whole again. "This is incredible," Eli murmured to himself. "How does this even work?" He turned a knob on a control panel, expecting sparks or smoke. Instead, the ship's systems hummed to life. Lights blinked across the dashboard in colors Eli had no names for. The engine purred softly, resonating through the ground. Lyra's eyes widened, though whether from relief or something else, Eli couldn't tell. She raised her hands, palms out, and soft light radiated from her markings. A thin holographic display appeared above the ship's dashboard, symbols moving in ways Eli had never seen. Eli stepped back, astonished. "That's amazing." She spoke, and the translator device repeated, "You are skilled beyond expectations. Humans rarely repair what is foreign without damage." Eli scratched his head. "Well, I like a challenge." They worked in silence for another hour. Eli adjusted energy conduits, repaired circuits, and even managed to make a replacement for a small, broken engine part using only scrap metal and wiring. Lyra observed, sometimes assisting with subtle gestures, glowing threads of energy weaving into circuits. By the time the repair was complete, night had fully fallen. The stars reflected off Lyra's ship like tiny sparks of light. She activated the engines slowly, hovering a few feet above the ground. Eli stepped back, heart racing. "It works. You're good to go." Lyra lowered a hand and with a small, glowing gesture produced a device. It was compact, smooth, and hummed faintly. "A token of gratitude," the translator said. Eli held it, feeling warmth spread through his fingers. Thanks. What does it do?" Lyra shook her head. "It is complicated. It will reveal itself when needed." Eli frowned. He wasn't sure whether to be excited or cautious. "Right, okay." Before he could ask more, Lyra moved toward the ship's cockpit. "You have proven human ingenuity," she said. "I will not forget this." Eli watched as she lifted off, engines glowing, light reflecting off the barren rocks. The ship accelerated, disappearing into the night sky in a streak of silver and blue. He stood alone, the cool wind whipping against his face. The token in his hand hummed softly, almost as if alive. Eli didn't know it yet, but his life, and the quiet life of this remote planet, was about to change forever. Over the next few days, Eli experimented with the token. It responded to his touch, glowing brighter when he focused on it. He tried to open it to see if it contained data or a message, but it resisted. Every attempt only made him more curious. Meanwhile, rumors began to spread. Other travelers, merchants, and miners noticed strange signals in the region. Light pulses, energy spikes, and occasional glimpses of a crescent-shaped ship moving faster than any known human vessel. Eli kept mostly to himself, but he couldn't help feeling the weight of what he had done. Humans had always been underestimated by other species in the galaxy. He had seen it firsthand. Most alien civilizations considered humans reckless, weak, and primitive. Yet here he had repaired a ship beyond his understanding, earning the trust of a species more advanced than any humans had ever met. Eli felt a surge of pride. He had done what no one expected. A simple mechanic on a remote planet, proving that human ingenuity, adaptability, creativity, and courage could surpass even the most advanced technology. And yet, as he gazed at the night sky, Eli could not shake a strange feeling. The galaxy was vast, more than he had ever imagined, and somewhere out there, Lyra was carrying a secret, a map, or knowledge that he did not yet understand. He was a human, limited in experience, but in that limitation lay a certain power, an unpredictability that even the most advanced beings could not anticipate. Eli returned to his workshop, still clutching the token. The twin suns might rise tomorrow, and he might return to his quiet routine, but he knew deep down that something extraordinary was beginning. Something that would test humans in ways he could not yet imagine, and reveal their worth to a universe that had always underestimated them. He set the token on his workbench, watching it pulse softly. And somewhere deep in the stars, Lyra was watching too, knowing she had discovered something rare, a human capable of thinking, creating, and surviving where others would fail. The winds howled across the empty plains again, carrying the distant hum of alien engines. Eli smiled. He was ready for whatever came next. Eli Navarro had never slept so little in his life. The mysterious token Lyra had given him hummed faintly on his workbench, casting a soft glow in the small workshop. Every time he reached for it, it pulsed warmly, as if responding to his curiosity. He had spent days trying to understand it, studying its smooth surface, pressing buttons, and gently tapping it. But nothing happened, until the evening when he finally noticed a pattern. It was subtle. The token vibrated slightly when he focused on a star map he had scribbled on a scrap of paper. Intrigued, Eli connected it to his computer. The token hummed louder, lights flickering like tiny pulses, and suddenly the screen shifted. Coordinates appeared unlike anything Eli had ever seen. A star system far beyond human-explored space, hidden behind what looked like a web of energy. What is this?" Eli whispered to himself. His heart raced. He had repaired ships, fixed engines, and navigated tricky terrain on mining planets, but this was something entirely different. A hidden system. He had heard legends of unexplored star clusters, but no one had ever found one. And here, the token was giving him a map. The next morning, Eli barely slept. He worked through the day, fixing local mining equipment, but his mind kept returning to the token. By evening, he decided he had to try it for real. He prepped his own small ship, one of the few fast models capable of handling longer distances. The token rested in the control console, humming softly, almost guiding his hands. When he activated the coordinates, the ship's systems responded. Lights blinked, engines calibrated themselves, and a faint energy pulse seemed to guide the craft. Eli's jaw dropped. This wasn't human technology. The ship felt alive, as if the token was communicating directly with him. By nightfall, he was in orbit above the coordinates. The stars outside were bright, but one system glowed faintly, pulsing in colors Eli couldn't name. The ship responded to his presence as if it had recognized him. Eli took a deep breath. "All right, let's see what you've got for me." He navigated carefully, scanning the system. Asteroids drifted lazily in orbit, but the planet at the center was unusual. Its surface shimmered with metallic crystals, reflecting sunlight in dazzling patterns. This was no ordinary planet. The scans showed traces of energy, structures buried beneath the surface, and something else, something that felt intelligent. Eli landed carefully, the ship's engines humming in harmony with the token. As he stepped onto the planet, the ground beneath him seemed to pulse. The crystals reflected faint holographic images, showing star maps, strange symbols, and alien designs. Eli felt a thrill he had never experienced before. He wasn't just a mechanic anymore, he was exploring a world no human had ever seen. Suddenly a voice echoed around him, not from the ship but from the planet itself. It was Lyra's voice, soft but clear. "You have arrived, human, you are capable." Eli froze. "Lyra, is that you?" "Yes, the token is not just a gift, it is a guide, you must be careful. Others will come seeking it, some will try to take what you hold." Eli's heart raced. He had known the token was special, but he hadn't realized it was valuable or dangerous. "Others? Who?" "Other species in the galaxy. They do not trust humans, but they see your ingenuity. They will test you." Eli swallowed. He was just a mechanic, someone who fixed broken things. Now he was in the middle of interstellar politics with unknown alien factions watching, but something inside him sparked. Humans were underestimated all the time. Maybe this was his chance to prove what humans could do. As he explored the planet, he discovered structures buried beneath the crystals. They were small, pyramid-like buildings, but unlike anything human architects had ever designed. Inside, he found consoles that responded to the token. When he placed it on a pedestal, holographic maps projected into the air, showing energy flows, ancient routes, and locations of alien archives. The realization hit him. This is knowledge, ancient knowledge. Secrets no one has seen in thousands of years. He worked quickly, studying the symbols, mapping the data. His hands moved with instinct, connecting circuits, interpreting patterns, and improvising where alien logic seemed impossible. Every step confirmed what Lyra had said. Humans were unpredictable, inventive, capable of finding solutions even the most advanced species could not anticipate. But Eli wasn't alone for long. As he worked, sensors picked up a small fleet approaching the system. Sleek ships black as obsidian, unlike anything he had ever seen. Their movements were precise, aggressive. Eli realized instantly they wanted the token. He had a choice, flee or fight. He had repaired ships, but he had never faced a hostile fleet. His mind raced, then he smiled. Humans had always survived through cleverness, not strength, and cleverness was his strongest tool. He activated his ship's cloaking field, a makeshift modification he had created over months. The token hummed, syncing with the ship's systems. Lights dimmed, engines quieted, and Eli's ship vanished from sensors. The fleet scanned the system, frustrated by the invisible ship, while he quietly moved deeper into the planet's orbit. Inside the structures, Eli found more clues, alien archives, energy conduits, and advanced technologies. Each discovery felt like a reward for human ingenuity. The token pulsed brighter, responding to his presence. He realized it was more than a map. It was a key, guiding him through this hidden system. Hours passed. Eli worked tirelessly, using both human skill and intuition to unlock the secrets. At one point, he connected an alien energy conduit to the token, and a holographic wormhole appeared in front of him. He stared awed. "A wormhole, it's stable." Lyra's voice echoed softly. "The token can stabilize wormholes. It can protect, guide, or destroy. It is powerful but dangerous. You must choose carefully." Eli nodded. He understood now. This was more than exploration. Whoever controlled the token could shift the balance of power across the galaxy. And humans, he realized with pride, were capable of handling it despite what others might think. The fleet outside grew restless. Eli knew he couldn't stay. Using the wormhole, he carefully set a path back to his home system. It was risky, unstable, and even a small miscalculation could destroy his ship. But humans had survived worse, with limited tools, and emerged victorious. He trusted his instincts. The jump through the wormhole was intense. Stars stretched into lines of light, and the ship shook violently. Eli gritted his teeth, focusing on the token, guiding the ship with both skill and instinct. When he emerged on the other side, he was in orbit above his home planet, exhausted but exhilarated. He looked at the token. It pulsed gently, as if acknowledging his success. Eli smiled. "You and me, buddy, we're going to do great things." Over the next days, Eli realized the galaxy had changed for him. Other alien factions had detected the token's use. Messages and signals arrived, some cautious, some threatening. Humans were still underestimated, but Eli now had a secret weapon, human ingenuity coupled with knowledge no one else had. He also knew Lyra would return. The bond they had formed, built on trust, respect, and mutual understanding, was rare. Other species might see humans as unpredictable, but in her eyes he had proven humans could be brilliant, resourceful, and worthy of trust. Eli's life in the small workshop would never be the same. The universe was vast, full of dangers, mysteries, and opportunities. And he had a role to play, not as a simple mechanic, but as someone who could navigate the unknown, protect secrets, and show the galaxy the value of human intelligence and courage. As night fell, Eli looked at the stars and whispered, "I'm ready for whatever comes next." And somewhere, far across the galaxy, Lyra smiled, knowing the human she had met was unlike any other, and that the galaxy had yet to see the full power of human ingenuity. The token pulsed gently, a quiet heartbeat, promising more adventures, greater challenges, and discoveries that would test Eli in ways he could not yet imagine. And Eli knew he would face them all, because humans, no matter how small or underestimated, always found a way to survive and thrive. Eli Navarro stared at the token resting on his workbench, its soft glow filling the small workshop. It had guided him to unknown star systems, helped him unlock secrets, and kept him alive when hostile fleets tried to steal it. Yet he could feel the adventure was far from over. A signal arrived that evening, a soft, melodic pulse. Eli's heart skipped a beat. He recognized it instantly. Lyra, she was calling him. He activated his communication array and watched as her holographic form appeared above the console, graceful and radiant as ever. "Eli," Lyra said through the translator, her voice calm but urgent. "I have need of your skill once more. There is a mission that requires a human mind." Eli leaned forward. "A mission? Where? What kind of mission?" "There is an archive hidden within the crystalline nebula. It contains knowledge about our civilization and the galaxy's origins. Many have tried to retrieve it. All have failed, but you are capable." Eli's pulse quickened. The crystalline nebula was legendary, unstable energy storms, shifting gravitational fields, and alien guardians that protected its secrets. Many civilizations avoided it entirely. And now Lyra wanted him to go there. I'm just a mechanic," Eli said, though his voice lacked conviction. "I fix things, I don't go on missions." Lyra's violet eyes glowed softly. "You think small, you see only what you have done, but humans, your kind, can adapt. You can think differently, that is why I ask you." Eli hesitated, then nodded. Humans survived because they tried when others hesitated. If Lyra trusted him, he would go. Within hours, Eli had prepped his ship, equipping it with enhancements guided by the token. The device pulsed in harmony with his ship's systems, and he felt a strange confidence. Humans often relied on instinct and ingenuity when no protocol existed. That would be his advantage. The journey to the crystalline nebula was tense. Waves of energy disrupted communications, and asteroids drifted unpredictably through space. Eli relied on the token, allowing it to guide him past the most dangerous zones. It hummed, pulsing in response to his decisions, and he began to feel as though it understood him, not just guiding but partnering. As they approached the nebula, Eli saw its breathtaking beauty. The clouds of energy shimmered in violet, blue, and gold, forming patterns that twisted and shifted. Stars seemed to dance inside the nebula, and at the center, faint structures glimmered, hidden beneath layers of energy and crystal. Lyra's ship appeared alongside his. "The archives are heavily guarded. Many have entered and never returned. You must use your mind, not force." Eli nodded. "All right, let's do this." Inside the nebula, turbulence tossed his ship like a small toy. Energy arcs struck unpredictably, threatening to fry systems. Eli improvised, rerouting power from life support to shields temporarily, then back again. His hands flew over controls, adjusting, testing, and predicting. The token pulsed brighter with every correct move, guiding him through invisible channels in the nebula. At last, they reached the central structure, a massive crystalline tower that seemed alive, glowing softly from within. The entrance was barred by intricate locks, energy fields, alien symbols, and shifting patterns. Eli approached, feeling a thrill. This was beyond any repair he had ever done, yet he felt calm. Humans thrived in impossible situations. He observed, experimented, and combined the alien mechanisms with his own improvisations. Hours passed, and Lyra watched silently. Eli twisted energy conduits, tapped patterns, and rerouted power through the token. Slowly, the locks shifted, pulsing in recognition. The final barrier dissolved with a soft hum, revealing a chamber filled with holographic archives, ancient machines, and floating crystal data arrays. Eli gasped. The knowledge here was immense: technology, history, and maps of the galaxy's hidden networks. It was overwhelming, but he felt exhilarated. Humans often found solutions by seeing connections others missed, and here his perspective allowed him to succeed where advanced civilizations had failed. But they weren't alone. Sensors detected movement. Alien guardians, sleek and powerful, emerged from the crystal walls. They moved like shadows, their limbs sharp and precise. Eli and Lyra exchanged a glance. Force alone would not work. They had to think. Eli noticed the guardians reacted to energy patterns. He quickly adjusted the token's pulse, syncing it with the guardian's signals. Slowly, they paused, then stepped aside, recognizing Eli not as an intruder but as one attuned to the environment. Lyra's eyes widened in admiration. You see, humans perceive differently. You adapt when others cannot. Inside the archive, Eli and Lyra worked together. He interpreted alien symbols, while Lyra accessed information with her energy abilities. They uncovered maps, histories, and technologies thought lost to the galaxy. Each discovery confirmed something Eli had always known. Humans, underestimated and overlooked, could achieve extraordinary feats when given the chance. But there was no time to celebrate. The token pulsed violently, warning of an approaching fleet. Rival factions had tracked the energy signatures to the nebula. Eli realized they were in danger. They had to leave, fast. Eli devised a plan. Using the knowledge from the archives, he reprogrammed energy conduits to create a temporary wormhole exit. It was risky. If miscalculated, it could collapse and destroy both ships. But humans often succeeded by taking calculated risks when others hesitated. He guided Lyra's ship and his own through the wormhole, adjusting energy flows in real time. The space around them twisted and warped. Shields held and the wormhole stabilized. They emerged safely on the other side just as the rival fleet reached the nebula. Lyra exhaled, relief evident in her expression. You did it, Eli. You saved us and the archives. Eli smiled, though exhausted. We did it, together. He realized something important. Human ingenuity was strongest when combined with trust and teamwork, even with beings vastly different from humans. Back in safe space, Lyra turned to him. Eli, the galaxy has underestimated humans for too long. You have proven something rare, the ability to survive, adapt, and excel in impossible situations. Eli felt a surge of pride. He had never sought recognition, but here it mattered. Humans often struggled for survival, relied on wit and resourcefulness, and yet were dismissed by advanced civilizations. He had shown that even one human, clever and persistent, could change outcomes that seemed impossible. The token pulsed softly, as if agreeing. It had guided him, protected him, and now revealed the potential humans held. Eli realized that this was just the beginning. The galaxy was vast, full of mysteries and challenges, and humans, despite being considered small or weak, had a unique role to play. Lyra placed a hand on the token, her glow blending with its energy. You may return to your world, Eli, or join me. There is much you can learn and much the galaxy can learn from humans like you. Eli paused. His small workshop on the mining planet felt distant, yet comforting. But the stars called to him now, and he knew he could never be content with only repairing machines. The universe was waiting, and he had discovered his true strength, not in his tools, but in his mind, courage, and creativity. I'll come with you, he said finally. But not as a guest, as someone who can help, who can think, and who can make a difference. Lyra's eyes shone brighter than ever. Then together we will explore, protect, and discover. Humans may be underestimated, Eli, but I see what they are capable of, and I am honored to have you by my side. Eli smiled, feeling a warmth he had never experienced. He was no longer just a mechanic on a small planet. He was part of something larger, a story of discovery, courage, and ingenuity. Humans were often overlooked, but in moments like this, their true power shone. As the two ships departed the nebula, moving into uncharted space, Eli looked at the stars and thought of all the adventures to come. The galaxy was vast, full of unknowns, but humans, adaptable, clever, and brave, could rise to meet any challenge. The token pulsed one last time in the glow of the nebula behind them, a quiet heartbeat echoing across the void. And Eli knew, with certainty, that the galaxy would never underestimate humans again. For the first time, he felt the full weight and thrill of being a human in a universe that was far larger and more mysterious than he had ever imagined. And he was ready.